The HOA standoff, a hero's battle in suburbia. They stormed her office in broad daylight, handcuffs flashing, ready to drag her out like a common criminal. The HOA president was screaming, "Get her out before she ruins everything." All because she hung workout clothes on her balcony, tossed a peach pit in the wrong bin, and refused to sign the neighborhood's mandatory charity pledge. They thought they were intimidating a quiet housewife. They had no idea she was a former Israeli Special Forces commander who could turn their world upside down in 2.7 seconds. This is the story of how one woman's past collided with a suburban tyrant's schemes, sparking a battle that exposed secrets, united a community, and delivered justice most satisfyingly. We moved to Pinewood Estates 6 months ago, chasing the American dream in a postcard-perfect suburb outside Sacramento. I'm Tom Harper, a 52-year-old software consultant, and my wife, Rachel, 50, runs a cybersecurity business from home. Pinewood seemed ideal. Manicured lawns, identical mailboxes, and that eerie quiet that whispers, "We have rules." Our realtor mentioned the HOA with a nervous chuckle, but we figured a few guidelines about fence heights or trash cans wouldn't be a big deal. We were wrong. The trouble started with Evelyn Caldwell, the HOA president. She showed up at our door 48 hours after we unpacked, clutching a tray of grocery store cookies and wearing a smile as stiff as her lacquered hair. Evelyn was in her late 50s, dressed like she was perpetually late for a yacht club meeting. Her nails tapped our counter as she handed us a binder of community standards thicker than a phone book. She scanned our living room, noting Rachel's dumbbells in the corner, and launched into a lecture about approved paint colors, noise curfews, and mandatory block parties. Rachel was polite but reserved, her eyes tracking Evelyn's every move. I didn't think much of it then, but Rachel always sat where she could see the door, checked our locks twice nightly, and moved through the house with a silence that felt deliberate. I chalked it up to her cybersecurity work. Evelyn's binder included a community commitment form, requiring us to attend 6 HOA events yearly and volunteer 12 hours monthly. Rachel declined, saying we preferred privacy. Evelyn's smile vanished. "This isn't optional," she hissed. "Community is what makes Pinewood special." After she left, Rachel spent the evening checking window latches and sightlines to the street. "That woman's trouble," she said, her accent hinting at something foreign I couldn't place. I thought she was overreacting. Evelyn seemed like a typical HOA busybody, annoying but harmless. I had no idea Rachel's instincts were honed in places where spotting threats meant survival. The violation started within a week. I hung gym shorts on our balcony to dry. By noon, we had a citation for visible laundry. I tossed a peach pit in the recycling bin instead of compost, another fine for improper waste disposal. When Rachel skipped signing a neighborhood charity pledge, we got a third notice for undermining community unity. Each citation carried a $50 fine and veiled threats about standards. It felt personal, like Evelyn was testing how much we bend. By week 2, Evelyn escalated. She formed a neighborhood safety patrol led by Greg Walsh, a retired accountant with a telephoto lens and a tablet for logging our every move. They photographed Rachel taking out trash, me checking mail, and even our car in the driveway, claiming it was parked aggressively. Evelyn created a private Facebook group, Pinewood Safety Watch, excluding us. Our neighbor, Lisa Nguyen, showed me screenshots. Evelyn posted daily, framing our routine as suspicious. One post read, "Day 10. Subject observed exercising loudly, possibly weapons training." She'd turned Rachel's yoga into a terrorist plot. Evelyn's posts whipped up paranoia. Neighbors speculated about our backgrounds, some suggesting we were foreign agitators. Her genius was cloaking harassment as concern for property values. Lisa revealed Evelyn had driven out 3 families before us, Hispanic, Black, and Vietnamese, claiming they didn't fit. Each left after endless violations and social pressure. Evelyn wasn't just controlling. She was curating Pinewood's demographics. Rachel stayed calm, almost scarily so. She started photographing Greg's surveillance, waving at his lens with a smile. She live-streamed our daily routine, framing it as transparency. The feed caught Evelyn's team lurking Greg behind a bush, Evelyn signaling her crew like a wannabe general. Comments poured in, "This is stalking, not safety." The narrative shifted. Neighbors questioned Evelyn's obsession. But Evelyn had loyalists, older homeowners obsessed with property values who backed her. The neighborhood split, 30% with Evelyn, 30% against, 40% neutral. Then Lisa dropped a bombshell. Evelyn had hired a private investigator to dig into our pasts. She'd found Rachel's immigration records and redacted military files, misinterpreting them as proof of danger. Evelyn was also meeting HOA board members privately, pushing for emergency powers to oust us. As a former real estate lawyer, disbarred for harassing homeowners, she knew how to manipulate bylaws. She'd amended HOA rules to allow removal of incompatible residents, a vague term she weaponized. Rachel's response was surgical. She taught me basic cybersecurity, which I used to access Evelyn's Facebook group. It was a goldmine. Posts urging neighbors to log our every move, screenshots of Rachel's military records, even plans for legal action. Lisa uncovered Evelyn's past, sanctioned for bullying homeowners into selling to developers. The HOA was her new playground for the same tactics. The climax came on a Friday at 8:30 a.m. 3 black SUVs rolled up, disgorging Evelyn, Greg, 2 board members, and 4 ex-military security guards from Elite Protection Services. Evelyn, in a tailored blazer, pointed at Rachel's office. "Get her out," she yelled. The guards, armed with cuffs and body cams, moved like a SWAT team, bypassing our front door for the side entrance. I watched via our security feed, heart pounding, as they approached Rachel's office, where she was on a client call. What happened next took 2.7 seconds. The lead guard burst in without knocking. Rachel's head snapped up, eyes scanning threats in a blink for men, no firearms, 10 feet to the door. She stood, her posture shifting from civilian to commander. For a split second, her eyes flickered with something dark, a memory of combat. I shouted, "Rachel, don't," fearing she'd react like a soldier. Her voice cut through. "Stop. I'm an Israeli Defense Forces officer." The command was steel, her accent sharp. The guards froze. The leader, a former Marine, whispered, "Ma'am, IDF?" 3 were veterans. 1 had trained with Israeli forces. They lowered their gear. "We weren't told," the leader said, stepping back. Evelyn lost it. "I don't care who she is. She broke our rules." But Greg and the board members backed away, sensing disaster. Evelyn called 911, claiming assault. Officer Mark Reynolds arrived, calm and prepared. Lisa had tipped him off, and someone with serious clout had briefed him. He carried a secure tablet and ignored Evelyn's hysterics. "I hear we've got military personnel involved," he said to the guards, who confirmed Rachel's status. Reynolds set up his tablet on our lawn, with 200 neighbors watching and Lisa live streaming to thousands online. Colonel David Peterson appeared via video, his uniform silencing the crowd. Major Rachel Cohen Harper, IDF Special Operations, served 3 tours in Gaza, 2 in Afghanistan, saving 12 American soldiers in Kandahar. She's an American hero by proxy. The crowd erupted in applause. Veterans saluted Rachel. An elderly Korean War vet shook her hand. The guards apologized, canceling their contract with Evelyn. Peterson wasn't done. Mrs. Wynn's evidence shows a harassment campaign against a combat veteran. The Department of Defense takes this seriously. Further action will involve the Inspector General. Evelyn paled. Lisa took the mic, revealing Evelyn had embezzled $85,000 from HOA funds, using fake invoices to bankroll her schemes. The crowd booed, demanding her ouster. Greg resigned, apologizing to Rachel. Neighbors called for an emergency vote to remove Evelyn. That afternoon, Rachel sat on our steps, trembling. "I came here to leave that life behind," she said, tears falling. "I just wanted to be your wife." Victory cost her, forcing her to revive a past she'd buried. But Pinewood transformed. The HOA vote was unanimous. Evelyn was out. The FBI investigated, charging her with fraud, embezzlement, and civil rights violations. She got 4 years in prison, 5 years probation, and sold her house to pay restitution. The family she'd ousted, Lopez, Carter, and Tran, got settlements. The Lopezes returned, their garden now a community hub. Rachel became the OA president, replacing Evelyn's rules with fair guidelines. Monthly coffee chats replaced surveillance. Lisa's nonprofit, Fair Neighborhoods, sparked HOA reform nationwide. Rachel received the Defense Secretary's Medal for her service and advocacy. Our backyard, once cited for laundry, now hosts community workouts led by Rachel, blending military drills with suburban fitness. Evelyn's house? Bought by a Somali refugee family, whose welcome proved Pinewood's new spirit. Her campaign to divide us built a stronger, diverse community. Sometimes, justice is the best revenge. What do you think? Have you faced a neighborhood bully or seen injustice up close? Share your thoughts below, especially on confronting abuse or standing against unfair systems. Your voice matters. Let's hear your stand.